What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a very special video here today. In front of me I have the new 2025 Mazda MX-5 Miata Club. I just want to give a huge thank you and shout out over to Mazda of Chantilly, especially Calvin and Nick on the team here, for allowing me to review this beautiful Miata here today. It is for sale in their inventory and I'll have all their contact information in the description box below. But this is going to be a full review and test drive of this Miata here today. If you can believe it or not, this is my first experience ever actually checking out a Miata up close here. I've sat in a few at auto shows and stuff like that, but I've never really had the opportunity to test drive one fully here. So I'm very grateful for the team here for allowing me to do so. In my opinion, the Miata really doesn't need much of an introduction, but just to give you guys a little bit of an overview, introduced for the 1990 model year in its first generation known as the NA, it really took the enthusiast sports car world by storm. It spanned 4 generations since then, the NB, the NC, and lastly this ND generation, which came out in 2016. It's had a couple facelifts of this body style, the most recent of which being for the 2024 model year, so internally this is known as the ND3. The base MSRP of the 2025 Miata Club starts right at around $33,000. This one is lightly optioned up to $35,000. The most expensive of which being the appearance package, which gives you the extended front splitter right there, the extended side skirts, and if we move along to the rear, the extended trunk lid spoiler. Starting right up front, like I said, this Miata was introduced for the 2016 model year, so it uses a lot of design elements from Mazda's very popular Kodo design language, which roughly translates to essence of motion. So you have a large and pronounced front grille opening right here, as well as these very aggressive LED headlights with the updated daytime running light signature that was for the 24 model year. You also have the extended front splitter, like I said, that was part of the appearance package. And you have a couple, I don't think these are functional, but you do have a little bit of design elements in the front bumper there as well. This Miata is equipped with the standard wheel option. They are a twin 8-spoke design, as you can see here, 17 inches in diameter. You also have a 205/45 section tire. The brakes are an 11-inch rotor with a single piston caliper. You can also option the Miata with the BBS and Recaro package for around $4,800. That gives you a 4-piston front caliper, 13-inch rotors, as well as Recaro seats on the interior. The Miata is not a large car, as you would probably expect. It's only around 154 inches in total length, 91-inch wheelbase, and around 68 inches wide. But if we continue along, you can see the updated full LED taillights right here. If we go ahead and unlock the car, you can see what the turn signals look like. You also have some Mazda badging and a twin exit exhaust as well. Trunk space on the ND Miata is also pretty small. If we go ahead and pop it open with the key, it has around 4.6 cubic feet of total storage, which is not a lot. But as you can see, it's a pretty low liftover height, obviously, with just how low this car is to the ground. This one's also equipped with the dealer accessory floor mats as well as the cargo net. But you could probably fit an overnight bag or two in there, but not much else. The heart and soul of any Miata is obviously its engine, and powering this Miata is a 2-liter Skyactiv direct-injected inline 4-cylinder. It makes 181 horsepower and 151 foot-pounds of torque. That's up 26 horsepower and 3 pound-feet of torque from the ND2 generation Miata, which came out for the 2016 through 2018 model years, I believe. They also increased the redline to 7,500 RPM. 6-speed manual is standard on the Miata Club. You can option a 6-speed automatic on the Grand Touring trim only. This car weighs 2,300 pounds, which is absolutely incredible. It's one of the lightest new cars on sale today. Fuel economy is also excellent. It's rated at 26 in the city and 34 on the highway. With hybridization and turbocharging so popular in today's new cars, the Miata really sticks to a tried and true old school formula of a naturally aspirated inline 4-cylinder. I would say that this car could have potential collector status in the future for just how simple and easy to work on this engine is. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the interior of the Miata here, but before we do so, I'll show you guys what the key looks like. As you can see, it is the updated Mazda key with the buttons on the side, the lock, unlock the trunk, as well as the panic button. It's also trimmed in this kind of nice leather finish with the Mazda logo right here as well. This car also has smart key access, as you would expect. Right now, the car is unlocked. To lock, all you have to do is press the button on the door handle and press it one more time, obviously, to unlock it. This car also has the no-cost option cloth and kind of Alcantara suede seats with the contrasting stitching right there that look and feel really comfortable. They're also heated. You can also get leather seats in the Miata in the Grand Touring trim, and the BBS and Recaro package, like I mentioned earlier, will get you the Recaro bucket seats. This one also has the body matched kind of top of the door panel right here. Just helps spruce up the interior a little bit, and I like that a lot. Same contrasting kind of stitching on the armrest here. It also has a 9-speaker Bose audio system. Let's go ahead and hop inside and fire this Miata up. And one thing I forgot to mention before is I really like this contrasting kind of piano black windshield surround. It really is a nice look. But hopping inside, obviously all you have to do to fire this thing up, because it's a 6-speed manual, put your foot on the clutch, make sure it's in neutral and hit the button. Directly in front of you, you have a 3-gauge pod layout with the analog tachometer and speedometer and a little bit of a digital helper screen right there. You go through the various menus with the info button on the steering wheel. You have some vehicle information with temperature and fuel economy, as well as the trip data, but not much else, which is great because that's the whole purpose of this sports car here. Continuing along, you have the updated infotainment display for 2024. This is an 8.8-inch screen. It is a touchscreen. This one is just has the protective wrapper on it. So you can control it with actually this dial down here as well. You have a home button, as well as media, navigation, the volume button, as well as back and favorite tracks as well. You can scroll through the various menus. As you can see, you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which are wireless. Below the screen, you have a couple climate vents as well as the hazard button. Material quality is okay. Obviously, you have a plastic dashboard, but that's totally fine by me. You have a little bit of nice kind of padding right here with some contrasting stitching. Very easy to understand climate controls with fan speed, temperature, and air direction. Heated seats, the USB-C charging outlets, and a little bit of storage. This is the all-important 6-speed manual. The clutch is really light and easy to modulate. The shift feel is also very short and reassuring. To put the vehicle in reverse, you put it up and to the left. You can see you have a very small backup camera, but that's all you need in a car of this size. Below the shifter, you have the infotainment controls, which we've already discussed, and a manual handbrake. How often do you see that in a new car? That is a very welcome touch. You can see you also have a little bit of storage in the center console here, but nothing too crazy. Some cup holders, additional storage right there because you do not have a glove box, unfortunately. The convertible top on the ND Miata is very easy to use. All you have to do is use this latch right here. The top will actually spring up on its own, and you can finish the whole operation with one hand while filming. Latch it in like so and roll the windows up, and you are good to go. It is insanely simple. To lower the convertible top, it's equally as easy. Just go ahead and disengage the latch that you just used. The windows will go down on their own halfway. Bring it all the way to its resting position, click it in place, and you're also good to go. On the left, you have some settings for the vehicle traction control. This is a new mode for the 2024 refresh. If you go ahead and hold this button, it actually puts the car in dynamic track mode. So it's kind of a middle selection between the traction being fully off as well as obviously being fully on. You have the off button obviously down here as well. I also think this is to disable the kind of vehicle audible, chirping sound. But that basically concludes the exterior and interior tour of the Miata. Let's go ahead and do the most important thing you should do while having a Miata is drive the thing. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hit the road. All right, guys, welcome to the inside of the 2025 Miata. And this is my first experience ever driving a Miata. I can't believe I'm saying that, maybe as an enthusiast. I've just never had the opportunity to get behind the wheel of one. And what a day to get behind the wheel of a Miata. Hopefully the audio isn't too bad, but you can probably excuse that because it is the day to have the convertible top down and just enjoy this car. This is what this car is meant for. I'm so fortunate to be able to have such a perfect day with this car. Initial impressions is just how small it is. That kind of goes without saying. Maybe I hinted towards that in the interior portion, but I am over 6 feet tall. You can probably see that the seat is all the way back for me. I'm a little bit out of space. The headroom, my head is kind of over the windshield pillar a little bit. My hair is getting kind of all over the place, but at this point, you don't really care. I mean, I am just having so much fun behind the wheel. I know people say Miata is the answer to everything, but I've driven this thing half a mile, and I already love where this car really shines. We're taking some turns here. It's got a little bit of body roll. I don't think this thing has the BBS and Recaro package, like I said, so it's not the most dynamically optioned Miata, but this is almost the way that I would want it. It has a little bit of body roll, which is what you would like. It feels really controllable. We're not taking this thing on the limit or anything like that, but anyone can get in this car and drive it, which is such the appeal of the Miata. Go ahead and give this thing a little bit of gas here. It's not slow. I mean, I think 0 to 60 might be in like 6 seconds or something like that. The thing with the Miata is that you could go explore the potential of this car and not break the speed limit or not go crazy or anything like that. When you floor these new modern cars with turbos and everything, you're way over the speed limit in like 3 seconds. This car just its potential is accessible by anyone. The brakes also have a really nice feel as well. I know you can option the upgraded Brembo units with the BBS wheels and everything, but this is definitely sufficient for, daily driving with a little bit of spirited, back roads. If you're tracking this thing, I would probably say get that package or at least get an aftermarket solution. The pedals are also incredibly easy to heel toe and downshift. They're nicely spaced. I feel like anyone with bigger feet can definitely heel toe this as well. So really hats off to Mazda as well for the complete package of this manual transmission. As we're hitting the freeway on-ramp here, you can see this kind of long right-hander, not taking it crazy or anything like that, but like I said, a little bit of body roll, nothing too crazy. The ride actually feels really nice as it's taking some of the bumps here, and if we merge onto the highway here, it gets up to speed pretty quickly. Like I said, 180 horsepower isn't going to be the fastest thing on the road, but I think the extra 20 horsepower compared to the other models, I've never driven them, but you can definitely feel that. And this thing is a really rev-happy motor nonetheless. So on the highway here, hopefully you guys can hear me. Obviously, the microphone is picking up a lot of the extra wind and stuff like that, but it cruises really nicely. We're in 6th gear right now, turning around 2,500 RPM or so. And right now, the trip computer is saying we're doing over 25 miles to the gallon, even on this short stretch of highway here. Just really nice, and the benefits of a simple and compact 4-cylinder, it just settles down really nicely. If you put your foot down in 6th gear, there's a little bit of torque. It's nothing too crazy again. I think it's like 150 foot-pounds, but the torque is actually pretty low in the RPM band, so the passing power is pretty good without having to downshift or anything. One complaint that I do have, and it's not really a complaint, it's just that these tires do feel like they're a little undersized. I think these are a 205 section all the way around. And it feels like as you maybe take some of these corners with maybe just a little bit more speed, they might give up pretty quick. Like I said, I'm not near the limits or anything like that, so you could definitely, put a stickier tire on here or something, but I think 205 is just a little small even for how little power this car has. Like I said, guys, this is my first experience driving a Miata, and I'm having such a blast driving this thing. I know I've said it a couple times already. It's just so easy to drive. It just wraps around you. It's just a cohesive package. I always used to be a little bit skeptical of everyone who said, Miata is the answer. And, I know there are good competitors to this car. There are the GR86 and stuff like that. But it's not really a direct competitor because that's not a convertible and this doesn't have 4 seats. So the Miata has almost always been in a class of its own. And, for that reason, it just makes it so special. And, with the way modern cars are going with, turbocharging and stuff like that, who knows, how much this sort of formula for Miata will be around. I know Mazda has said this generation Miata will live for a few more years, which I think is great. But they will have to move on eventually, and they could give this thing a hybrid or something like that. So I'd say snatch one of these up while you can, because they're just such an amazing driving experience. Final impressions of driving the newest Miata here. I mean, as you can probably tell, I am very impressed. My opinion of this car has really changed in the short period that I've been able to drive it. I've really become a fan of this car. And huge thank you and shout out again to the team at Mazda of Chantilly. They were extremely flexible and knowledgeable. They presented this car perfectly clean and spotless and full of gas. It's just really like the small stuff for customer service, and I'm not even a customer. That just means a lot, and I really, appreciate the opportunity to review this car here today. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this full tour and test drive of the gorgeous 2025 Miata MX-5 Club. I just want to give a huge thank you and shout out again to the team here at Mazda of Chantilly, especially Calvin and Nick, for allowing me to review this car. I have all their contact information in the description box below. But if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe for a ton of cool content coming very soon, and I'll catch you in the next one.